While the concept of being fluent in another language is super exciting, you also have to realize that you will have to put in the work to achieve fluency no matter what language you decide to learn. It's important to have a strong start, like we mentioned, before learning and have a handful of reasons for learning that language as opposed to, because it's easy or because it's fast, that sort of thing. We can make the process of learning more fun, but it is also important to have realistic expectations for becoming fluent. This chart on the side, on the right side, I love this chart. It is the chart from the Foreign Service Institute in the US of approximately how many hours you have to study that language to be considered fluent in it. And it's from the perspective of a native English speaker. And that's the only language they speak, I will say. If you know a Romance language, if you know Spanish, Portuguese is going to come very easy to you. It may not take those couple years, but if it does, that's okay too. So yeah, just taking a look here, like I mentioned, Afrikaans being that number one, French, Spanish, stuff like that. German chilling, only one in category 2. We got some category 3, category 4, category 5. And what I kind of noticed is that sometimes people want to jump into learning a category 5 language. That's awesome. Korean was the first language that I self-studied. Sometimes it's just they don't realize, it may take you, 1,200 hours. To explain the chart a little bit more, for example, if you study 1 hour a day, it says that you will reach fluency in Spanish in 575 to 600 days, which is, a little more than a year and a half. And of course, that assumes you're studying, first off, that assumes you're studying an hour a day. If you only study 30 minutes a day, it's, more than that. And that you're of the utmost productivity, which is, that's not going to happen every day. And, sometimes you're busy. So more than likely, your journey will take a little bit longer than that. And that's totally okay. That's just how it is. And while these big numbers for some people can be a little discouraging, some people may find it motivating, especially for the languages that are, the furthest away from English at the bottom over there. It's really good to keep them in mind and don't expect fluency after just a couple weeks or months. Plus, just because the FSI, the people who made this chart, say that a language specifically on here is difficult, doesn't mean that it will be difficult for you. It also assumes that a whole lot of study time is done outside of class, and that's the class